This fishing boat captain announces his arrival to the portmaster. An onboard inspector verifies the vessel's documentation, its gear and its catch. The docking goes smoothly. This fish wholesaler is waiting for a vessel laden with fish that he's contracted to process and export. And this port inspector checks the background of a vessel using information from other ports in the region. The vessel wants to hire port facilities to offload its catch. 3 ports in 3 parts of the world, with one thing in common. All have adopted and enforce measures to ensure that all fishing vessels using their ports have caught their fish properly. By asking the right questions, checking documentation, and sharing information with neighbouring countries and regional fisheries bodies. These port-state measures combine to serve as a major offensive against illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. Activities that fall into the realm of environmental crime. The growing international demand for fish and its potential to bring enormous prices at the market makes IUU fishing more and more enticing to criminals. Illegal fishing operations are sophisticated, organized, and the stakes are high. IUU fishing operations prey upon developing nations, where all too often ports provide a convenient entry point for illegal catches. That's why these countries need better trained people, better equipment, and sufficient funds to mount comprehensive operations for fisheries monitoring, control and surveillance. In other words, they need protective port-state measures specifically designed to provide that vital link to close out criminals and protect fish resources. The International Plan of Action to Combat IUU Fishing, adopted by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization in 2001, focused attention on the crucial role of ports in this fight. In 2005, FAO members endorsed a model scheme on port-state measures to combat IUU fishing, designed to serve as a guide, but also to set a minimum standard for individual countries to develop or further strengthen their national measures. It also underscored the need for regional fishery bodies to provide guidance for harmonizing those national measures within the regions. Recognizing the critical need for increasing the effectiveness of the world's ports in combating IUU fishing, the international community firmly supports using the FAO model scheme as a basis for an international binding agreement. Just think what strong and effective port-state measures can mean to the world's fisheries. As ports expand their roles and incorporate better trained personnel to oversee operations, and with regional fishery bodies sharing information about illegal activities, IUU fishing operations will be forced to go longer and longer distances, looking for ports of convenience that will accept them. As they have less and less access to port services such as refueling and transshipping, or to the markets reached through ports, they'll lose more and more of their profit. As profits decrease, so will the appeal to perpetuate illegal activity. In addition, in an even larger picture, these port-state measures will link with other activities for combating IUU fishing, such as prohibiting trade in illegally caught fish, satellite monitoring of fishing vessels, and cooperation among countries in prosecuting offenders. Stronger port-state measures will provide the avenues for closing ports of convenience, decreasing the possibility of landing and marketing IUU fish, keeping illegal catches out of trade flows. Supporting regional and international cooperation and harmonising measures among port states clears the way forward for strengthening fisheries governance for all, beyond what is possible for individual countries acting alone. It also equalises opportunities for developing countries. They can promote their ports for the services they provide, supporting their fishing industries and in turn their national economies. That's why FAO developed the model scheme on port-state measures and has initiated activities around the world to build national capacity and promote regional coordination, all meant to provide the support needed for countries to ensure their ports are part of the solution to combating IUU fishing, not part of the problem.